9:02 p.m. Wednesday, October 23rd, 2019, episode number 753 of Yeah Dude. My name is Jonathan. This is Seth. Hello, Seth.
753 episodes of absolute impeccable comedy.
Comedic mayhem.
Comedic perfection. How did two kids
Just two
start in February of 2006?
couple of roughnecks.
Wildcatters, Mavericks, Rogues. How do you start in February of 2006? How do you invent a genre and then in October of 2019 get to episode 753 and still be at the tippity top of your game?
I don't know.
It's unbelievable.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's unbelievable to me.
It defies
belief.
believes.
November 12th.
Yes.
Beaver moon, frost moon, the morning moon, MOURNING. I don't know if that's supposed to be sad. But I'm just talking about full moons.
Beaver moons.
Frost moons, maybe because of that winter frost. But I would be prepared for November 12th when you look up into the sky and it's full, it's robust, and it's...
chilly.
It's heaven. You've layered, finally got that fucking turtleneck on. Hello. Oh, hey, how are you? Do I know you? Yes, Seth, but with a turtleneck.
Turtleneck Seth.
Oh my God. Apple crumb cake in the oven. Just to drive up the coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I hate Halloween, but I love the holidays.
You fucking hate Halloween, but gosh darn it, you love November and December.
Yeah.
It's almost like on Halloween, it's 11:59 and you're just, get off my porch. And then it hits midnight. Ooh, and you just sink back onto your couch. You put on your turtleneck. Get a mug.
Get a mug of something.
Autumnal.
Get a mug of something.
What is this, autumnal?
No, I mean I'm a fan of Thanksgiving, and
You fucking love Thanksgiving.
And I
fucking love Christmas.
I love Christmas.
And you love New Year's.
No, I don't.
So your window it begins at midnight.
Gratitude
Halloween.
holidays only. I'm only into gratitude holidays.
What gifts? Can you start giving gifts on Thanksgiving?
I meant gratitude directed towards me.
Okay.
Gratitude for me.
That's November 12th.
Beaver moon.
Frost moon.
On this beaver moon. No? Wait, is it all the same thing? Are those all references to the same type of moon? Beaver moon, frost moon, morning moon?
On this morning wood. My bad, I fucked that up.
Is it all the same thing? Is it all different ways?
Is the moon the same? I don't know. Look up at it and say hello. She'll answer. Hey, moon. Are you the same?
Which are you, moon? Which moon are you?
Hey, moon, I'm talking to you. You're beautiful. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, moon.
It's tough.
It's tough out there.
Tough.
The sun will burn you dead, though.
Especially
Cook you dead.
Last couple of days.
Cook you dead.
Just
the moon,
thought you were gone.
The moon is a friend. It will guide you.
Buddy.
The sun will fucking murder you dead.
Yeah.
The sun comes out. It says, you want to get murdered? Stand outside. Let me look at you.
The moon says, friendly guide.
Hello, friend. Let me guide you. Into the forest? No, thank you. Fuck no.
I was... Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I was watching this guy on YouTube and...
What? Stop. Yeah, you should have never...
So, I mean, that's why I stopped.
No, but what's he had to say about...
He's an outdoor sleeper.
Building 7. What is he saying?
No.
Okay.
He's an outdoor sleeper.
An outdoor sleeper.
Yeah.
He sleeps outdoors.
He's big on outdoor
That's
camping.
the only way to do it.
Not tent camping.
Nocturnal.
Basically saying if you're sleeping in a tent, you basically may as well be sleeping in a Ritz-Carlton. Absolute. Yeah. It's really about the
hanging that fucking
a hammock or digging yourself a little
grave.
Shallow grave by the riverbank.
Good night, moon.
This is the last moon.
This is a comfortable
This
casket.
is the final moon.
Could you just put those wet leaves over me?
They call it, I'm very excited about this. I got pumped on this.
What is it?
They call it Cosmic Crisp. It's a new variety of apple coming to a grocery store near you December 1st. Why is that face? What's that face
You
for?
said you're excited. You said Cosmic Crisp. I thought it was like unreleased Dead tracks. It was like a...
Cosmic Crisp is the first apple ever bred in Washington State, which happens to grow the majority of the United States apples.
Grows them, don't breed them.
It's expected to be a game changer. The apple variety was developed by Washington State University, and Washington growers who paid for the research will have exclusive right to sell it for the first 10 years.
That's amazing.
Bank.
Before the vultures come in.
Before
and
the
it goes
fucking-
generic.
The apple is called Cosmic Crisp because of the bright yellowish dots on its skin, which look like distant stars.
Whoa.
Quote, I've never seen an apple prettier in the orchard than these things are, said Aaron.
Said Psychopath Jones.
said Aaron Clark of Yakima.
Said bottomless Aaron Clark of Yakima.
Pantsless Jack.
What? I've never seen an apple so pretty. Like you.
Aaron Clark of Yakima, whose family owns several orchards in central Washington
they
and has
do.
planted 80 acres
I bet he has.
of that
What's he
Cosmic
use for
Crisp.
fertilizer? What's he?
His own
Stay
seed.
away from this guy.
His own seed.
Yeah, I can buy my seed with that seed. Your pretty mouth, cotton boy.
Your pretty mouth, cotton boy. You
man.
pretty mouth, cotton boy. The new variety keeps for a long time in storage and in the refrigerator,
All right.
says Kate Evans,
GMO. I
who
don't-
runs the breeding program at Washington State University. It's an exceptionally good eating apple, she said. It's ultra crisp, very
As
juicy.
opposed to what? A fucking apple like
Ba-
this guy?
Baking apple.
Oh, okay. Oh, excuse me.
Come on now.
Okay.
She said it's ultra crisp, very juicy, and has a good balance of sweetness and tartness.
It's a
Yeah, you have juicing
exceptionally-
apples, baking
okay,
apples.
I didn't know this. This is
eating
an
apples.
exceptionally good eating apple. Do
For
not
its
use it
crispness,
for
its
juicing.
balance of tartness and
What about
sweetness,
its physical beauty that
and
was mentioned
apparently
before?
cotton mouth.
Do you want to cut? Joe wants to wrap his fucking mouth around it because it's a beautiful
Wants to
apple.
bind his seed with
Eating
its
apple.
seed.
Oh, I'm gonna eat it.
I'm gonna eat it all right.
Aaron, where my folks? They gone?
He's out in the orchard again.
Oh, Aaron's out there, but it's a morning moon. What's he doing out there? Praying.
It's Beaver Moon. Why is he out there?
Well, Aaron. It's always
Pantsless.
exciting when we change the fucking game. Game changers.
I would like to invest in this
game-changing technology.
This game-changing
You're fucked for a decade. This
breed.
is something.
Couldn't I invest in the families that are growing this stuff?
You could. You want to.
Could I volunteer?
It would have been better if you'd known if they had let you insider trading got you in on this a few years ago.
Yeah, probably.
You want to be on the next thing to get that patent, and then you lock it down. Because in 10 years,
I mean, what do you think? Those cotton candy grapes, somebody made a lot of money off those, right?
whoever that farmer is, he made all the money.
At least for a good few years when the getting was good. They're still
Gone.
they're
moved
still
away.
sold out all the time when they come in.
Can't find him. That guy's he's gone.
He left.
He left.
He ascended.
Send it.
USA Today snapshots. Take it down a notch here. Top threats to forest animals. This is a source World Wildlife Fund and Living Planet database on the percentage of the top threats to forest animals in
Critters.
to critters in percentages. 1% pollution, 3% disease.
That's their own shit.
Yes. 8% invasive species and genes, genetic issues.
Is that something brought in from the outside?
Maybe, but I mean, 1%, 3%, and 8% don't seem like huge numbers.
Okay, there's a lot of critters.
13% of the top threats. 13% is climate change. 17% is exploitation, which I suppose means, I guess, harvesting, hunting, trafficking.
Sexual trafficking, exploitation.
25% habitat degradation. So that I would think has something to do with pollution, but maybe not.
Doesn't
a
it have to
different
do with climate?
and maybe climate change. Yeah, and then 34%
What was it?
habitat degradation,
Which would be pollution.
well, that's what I would think.
You
So
like put like 30 empty Pringle cans, like on a critter's house. That's degradation.
no, that's
pollution.
vandalism.
It's vandalism. That's spray. It's only spray painting. Excuse me, aerosol art. If you were to aerosol art a critter's home, is that legal or illegal?
25% habitat degradation, 34% habitat loss, and that's just condos. That's just straight up like, fucking Westfield shopping malls.
So what would have at one point been various critters' homes is now in Italy.
Yes.
Just dropped on there, right on top of them.
So, I mean, obviously,
You guys like Italian?
you do now.
Guys, do you like Italian? Do you speak English? Hey, I'm talking to you critters. Do you like Italy?
So yeah, we're much more responsible for
They'd be fine
if we didn't do all our
if we
shit to
weren't
them.
obsessed with pasta.
Pretty much.
If we didn't have to import 400 different types of pasta from Italy and drop it on their house, they would be fine. But we're obsessed with pasta.
It's pretty much, yeah.
Great. As a culture.
We talked a couple months ago about I believe it was one of our sit-down longer form episodes. We talked about a habitat bridge.
Yes.
They're building it finally in out the one that they had proposed out in Agur or whatever. They're building a couple of them, and they're fucking huge.
Beautiful.
They're like quite big and wide because they can't just be like narrow little.
Squeeze
No,
through.
they've like made it. Apparently, it's going down out there. I just saw something about it recently that it got okayed and
Do you
they're
think
going to
that
do
had anything
it.
to do
I would
with the
think it had a
podcast?
direct connection to
So we'll
us bringing
probably-
that bringing life back to that
back
story.
to that project.
Reviving
so I'd
that
imagine
project.
that when they put that
It's the
plaque up-
UID Habitat Bridge
for the UID Habitat Bridge for Humanity and Habitat. It's amazing.
for podcasting and humanity.
Podcasting and humanity.
For Mountain
Geo-tracking.
Lions Podcast and Humanity.
Wow.
Front.
See?
United
And that's
Front.
a legacy. I just thought the sheer amount of comedy would be the legacy.
But saving
But what really
the California
it's
mountain
saving
lion.
these mountain lions and letting them live in a natural comedic habitat.
Funny.
Because on that bridge, they have
safe
speakers
environment.
and they pipe in episodes. It's amazing for them. You're very lucky.
Should be happy.
You should be very happy.
Go breed.
PS 48. Burning Man.
Still? Again?
Always.
Forever.
Forever.
Permaburn.
Never ended.
Never began.
Never began. Because it's a city in the desert, yet it's a culture of possibility, yet it's a network of dreamers and doers. Sunday, August 30th, 2020. Just giving you a heads up.
We got to.
You got to. These fucking
These fools are prepping already.
These fucking vehicles don't build themselves.
Absolutely
Let's say that.
right. These art cars are not going to fucking...
Sunday, August 30th, 2020 to Monday, September 7th, 2020. Your GoFundMe can start now. You can to get you there.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait till fucking July.
Yeah.
The 2020 Black Rock City event theme.
Oh, they've already got the theme, though.
That's why I'm bringing this to our attention.
Well, let me think about it. What was last year's? Do you know?
Last year's was Me Too. It was a very controversial, political.
What is this one?
It explores the quantum kaleidoscope of possibility, the infinite realities of the multiverse, and our own superpositioning as actors and observers in the cosmic cacophony of resonant strings. It's an invitation to ponder the real, the surreal, and the pataphysical.
What does that mean?
The pataphysical, physics, we look at, we shrug our shoulders, we turn to the metaphysical. And when we look at the metaphysical, and again, we shrug our shoulders, we turn to the pataphysical.
Okay.
A chance to encounter our alternate selves who may have followed or are following, or will follow different decision paths to divergent Black Rock City realities. Welcome to the multiverse.
So I'm going to meet myself there.
You will meet yourself there if you have
myself.
not already driven yourself to today, tomorrow. In the wonderland of quantum mechanics, the tiny particles we are made from exhibit strange and paradoxical behaviors. Quantum entanglement describes the ability of two entangled particles to behave identically, even at great distances, and for one to react to a stimulus applied to the other, what Einstein called, quote, spooky action at a distance. Yeah, dude. Spooky action at a distance. The idea of quantum superposition is even spookier. The fact that something can exist in multiple potential states until it is observed, at which point it becomes either this or that, here or there, alive or not alive. As the joke goes, Schrodinger's cat walks into a bar and it doesn't. The phenomenon has been well documented, but how it actually works remains the subject of wild speculation. In one interpretation, the act of observation collapses the waves of possibility into one reality, and the others instantly vanish.
Yeah, like an ocean.
Where'd that go? But there's another explanation called the many worlds theory, where all the possible choices continue to exist simultaneously as separate branches of reality.
Yes.
Each one as real as the next.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I don't want to pronounce. Michio Kaku said, these parallel universes are not
Oh, Mikio Kaku.
Mikio Kaku. Thank you.
Jesus, Seth.
Does he play for the Cowboys? Then I'm sorry. Mikio Kaku,
Fullback for the Browns.
fullback for the Cleveland Browns, said, these parallel universes are not ghost worlds with an ephemeral existence. Within each universe, we have the appearance of solid objects and concrete events as real and as objective as any. These paths may seem real to a particular observer, but what is real? How can we know what's real? We've known since the days of Plato that our senses provide an imperfect simulation of the real. It goes on and on and on and on, but I will let you know.
I'm enthralled. I'm like, I want to go to Burning Man this year as of right now.
What will you be in the multiverse of Burning Man, Jonathan? Will
I
your
mean-
reality be augmented, bifurcated, or omnidimensional? What dream worlds will you step sideways into, and who will you be when you get there? Only time will tell, or has told, or is telling.
So good.
So tickets are
How much?
$7,000, or free, or nothing, or nice, or no, or open, or closed, or I'm in, or I'm out. It's me, or he paid. Or my parent. Oh, no. The pataphysical Seth already came and paid. His ticket shall be here, or is it there, or is it everywhere, or nowhere? Can I get in or not? I don't have any money. Can I get in? No. Okay.
What about just the people coming up to you and like mimicking all of your movements? The people that are going to be there being like, you're like, I'm your metaphysical mirror. Like, just are like getting in there, just like,
Wow.
like
In front of you and behind you? Joaquin's Joker, Heath's Joker,
which do you like?
Cesar
better?
Romero, Jack Nicholson. Are you the Joker? Spin me round and around. Where you stop, the Joker shall know. Four Jokers, an omniverse of Jokers. Where are you? Never know. You never know.
I'm
going.
I mean, it's really like
This is the one you got to go to, though.
it's to never go for me as a who I am is weird.
Sacrilege.
It's not sacrilege, but it's kind of crazy to not at least be like, I gave in once and like had to just go like lay eyes on it myself.
Like, anyone in the world that's ever seen you, if someone was like, do you think that person's been to Burning Man? They would laugh in your face, be like, of course he's been to Burning Man. And then you'd have to be like, but have I?
Or will I?
Or shall I? Or do I? Or did I? Shh.
Am I?
Ah! Shh. Ah! What is it? I don't know. Again, how much are the tickets? Can I get in or not? But what is money?
But you really sold me with this. This current pitch is the most interested I've been in it
that's
so
your
far.
verse.
I wonder if I was to go.
When you go, tell me more.
How hard?
The hardest.
Well, okay. So the question is, what kind of? Okay. Well, first of all, the hardest would be that I take a sabbatical from my.
The hardest is you go in there.
No, the hardest is you do drugs at some point in that week.
You go in, you fast.
It's a week.
You fast the whole week sober.
You cannot fast the whole week sober in the middle of the fucking desert, being like trampled on by like goggles and boots and dust.
Desert? I don't know what you're talking about. We're on a beach.
It's a wet beach.
Just explained to you the multiverse.
Would I just go? Do I go like with a camp of people? Do I go alone? Do I prep for it ahead of time? Do I decide to like?
No, you definitely prep.
I don't just go like I'm just going.
I'm here.
Well, prepared, but not like costumed and like.
Oh no, you're costumed. You have time to think about what you think the greatest manifestation of this
concept,
multiverse pataphysical concept would be.
Oh, this is real bad.
I mean, you'll know. It will come to you who you go as. Do you go as yourself as a baby?
Okay, but what about
Only
the
talk
doing
like a
drugs
baby?
part?
You don't do drugs.
Well, then I don't want to go.
You go. Your connection to this multiverse can only happen as you. It can't come as you altered, because that's not you. The truest you is you.
The truest me is probably
yes. No. The truest
me is probably
you in your cellular base level as you entered this world.
Yeah, but that sounds real unbearable.
Oh, it's
a week of that there, a day of that, unmedicated.
No, breakfast.
Sounds
one breakfast burrito.
Be like, I'm out,
surrounded by jokers. Over.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hot in the desert. Fuck.
But it ain't gonna get any easier to do something like this as I move on in my life.
In your 50s.
I mean, people do it in their 50s, but they've been doing it since they were in their 40s.
No, they do in their 50s because their lives collapsed in their 40s. And they tell their 22-year-old fucking twin sons, "Fuck you, I'm going."
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It's this year.
It might be.
It's 2020. Or is it? It's all bent in on itself.
Oh, is that why they're doing it? Because it's 2020? Is that part of that?
You tell me.
Fuck you.
Is that why the Super Bowl's on 02022020? I don't know. Maybe the Super Bowl's pataphysical. Who knows?
Pataphysical
Maybe
Super
I won
Bowl.
the Super Bowl. Maybe I was there. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe
we already played the Super Bowl.
Maybe I could con a couple of my other like old cosmonauts that's never been to go with me.
Couple old cosmonaut heads, one last hurrah. That's a good film. That's a good film. Call up a couple of the old causes. You call a few, some are gone.
Some are not with us anymore.
Some are not with us.
Like, ooh, I didn't know that.
Ooh, Celestial Plane did not
just thought
know
he was
that.
laying low.
Oh.
That's real low.
Okay, men's penal colony, San Luis Obispo. Well, that sucks for him. Okay, that's third person gone. Like a couple of old cosmonauts that are ready to do it.
Just me, Dimitri, and Zeus.
You in a diaper as baby Jonathan going back.
Dimitri, Zeus, Jonathan. 3 men, never been to Burning Man.
No, I think you have to, when you're in the time that it will take for you to create what you'll manifest, you will find the people that you end up going there with, these two other people that will and need and shall go with you. They're not in your head right now, but
they're not here yet.
You know who they are. You just can't. But when you're there with them, the three of you
like,
holding hands, like, I knew it. This is so right.
When faced with a predator or sudden danger, the heart rate goes up.
It's true.
Breathing becomes more rapid, and fuel in the form of glucose is pumped throughout the body to prepare an animal to fight or to flee. These psychological changes which constitute the fight or flight response are thought to be triggered in part by the hormone adrenaline. But a new study from Columbia researchers suggests that bony vertebrates can muster this response to danger without the skeleton. The researchers found in mice and humans that almost immediately after the brain recognizes danger, it instructs the skeleton to flood the bloodstream with the bone-derived hormone osteocalcin, which is needed to turn on the fight or flight response. In bony vertebrates, the acute stress response is not possible without osteocalcin, says the study's senior investigator, Gerard Carcenti, medical doctor, PhD, chair of the Department of Genetics and Development at Columbia University, Vagelos College of Physicians and Surgeons. Fuck me. Ooh. It completely changes how we think about how acute stress responses occur.
That's another game changer.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe completely changes how they think about it, but
not how you ever thought about it.
I've always thought about it. No, that
you always thought about bony fucking skeletons when you got scared as shit. What is it?
Osteocalcin.
Can you fucking macrodose that? What if you macrodose that osteocalcin?
Well, you got to try to extract it and concentrate it.
You got to concentrate it. You need to get it out of your body. Extract it, if
maybe
you will.
Not your own body.
Your brain. Maybe another
out of
body.
A teenager's body.
Living body?
What?
The body must be living.
So you need to get it out of a living teenager's body.
It's got to be a tween's body. You need to extract the osteocalcin from the living tween body.
You got to spook this tween in order to get that shit to come out.
Got it. You run. You run.
Spook them.
Run.
Spook them good though.
Run. Yeah. They have to.
A spook they won't ever forget.
Yeah. But then you take it back to the laboratory and you refine it and you calcify it. And then you shoot it. You put it in a pill. Maybe we can put it. Well, how do we take it? You snort it?
I think probably
sublingual.
I would think sublingual.
And then what would happen? It would put you in a perpetual state of fear,
Flee.
or would it fight or flight, or you just want to fuck shit up?
I think the idea with that is that it's the same mechanism, and that doesn't the intellectual brain decide which it is for you?
I think the brain does. I think the butt takes over because the rational brain.
The rational brain is what decides if you're fighting or fight. It's the same juice.
I thought the rational brain just gets turned off. The fight or flight is the osteocalcin overtakes the rational brain, and that's what can make you think that like somebody's in the house when you know nobody's in the house, right?
I don't know.
There's a teenager in the house.
Is this tween in the house?
There's a living tween in the house. Do we get it or not?
I thought it was like...
Or is it...
The same juice is necessary.
Nectar.
But then some other mechanism in us makes us go one side or the other. But it's the same stuff. It's not like, I'm going to fight, so let me get this thing produced. It's either way, it's adrenaline.
Okay.
But the intellectual brain is what weighs up, is this time to run or is this time to confront?
Or flight.
By weighing up whatever elements.
It's always flight. You know? Run!
Just first and foremost.
First and foremost. One time! Gone. Are you going to fight him? It's 5-0! Fight him! No! You're at a keg in the woods. Fucking fight him! No! Run.
But also, so that the brain can...
The brain ain't shit.
No, the brain is doing this, sending this message to the skeleton.
Oh, well then that's fucking scary.
And the skeleton has this stuff in it already. So that means it can get into the system rather than having to pump adrenaline from the brain through the rest of the body.
Right into the skeletal
or
system.
from the adrenal glands, I guess. It's actually just like immediately in everything.
Nose
because
to toes.
It's nose to toes.
Ah!
Is that what it is? Nose to toes? Ass to... No.
That's ass, cash, or grass. No skeletons ride for fucking free.
It totally changes the way we think about it.
And it changes the way we think about it. Do you know the ATF is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives?
Yeah, but that's not exactly right, is it? It's ATFE?
No, it's ATF from the research.
So it's ATF, but there's no
representation for
the explosives.
For explosives and also tobacco. Whatever.
Tobacco regulation.
Doesn't make no sense.
It does. It's because that keeps us from being able to grow it and sell it ourselves.
Yeah, but what's that have to do with fucking explosives? Seems like there should be two different departments for that. The same way that you like.
Well, there should be definitely two different departments for alcohol, which is its own world, tobacco, which is its entirely own world, firearms, own world, and explosives.
So they took four things
that
and
all
nothing
needed
to do
its
with
own,
each other.
but also all needed like its own
like,
system
yeah.
and people dealing
Cars,
with it.
books, sneakers, and guns. What?
I do it all.
We do it all.
Sit ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Can a person, now we're talking about the Gun Control Act of 1968, the GCA, prohibits felons and certain other persons from possessing or receiving firearms and ammunition.
For life.
Yes, these are prohibited persons. If you are a convicted felon, when you go back out onto the streets, if you will, this law made it so that you are no longer legally allowed
to possess a firearm.
Carry a firearm. However,
I actually don't know if you can even be in...
Can't even be around it.
I don't know if you can be in proximity.
You can't even hang out with me. 'Cause of these guns! A zing. Since February of 2006. However, federal law does not prohibit these persons. This is straight from fucking... I'm on government websites here. So
the DOJ website,
Take this shit as fucking legal tender. It does not prohibit these persons from possessing or receiving an antique firearm.
Yes.
The term antique firearm means any firearm with a matchlock, flintlock, percussion cap, or similar type of ignition system manufactured in or before 1898. So if you go fucking old school with that, like a fucking musket, you take that to the fucking streets. First of all, you'd scare the fuck out of everybody. If you walking down the streets of Baltimore, fucking pumping that musket, this fool's fucking crazy! No shirt on, just like, holy shit! Like reloading. Totally legal.
Yes.
I don't need that Draco. I got this fucking, look at me, dressed up in like fucking Civil War fucking regalia. What's up?
I think it's
workaround.
It's a workaround, but it is still illegal to shoot somebody with the musket.
Walk in the streets with your piece because you don't.
I think it's still illegal to walk with the piece too. You could just have it. Is all you can do. You can just have it.
You can look cool.
And look cool. But not in the street.
Not in the street.
And I don't think you're allowed to have a musket in the street.
What if it's open carry?
In Texas, you can carry a musket.
So you could walk the fucking streets with an old-timey, like, gunfight at the Oak Corral, like
a pirate.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Does that work? Let's see. Oh, fuck.
Then he got illegal again.
It gets legal again. But it's an accident. Stand your ground. I'm standing here. This is my ground.
True.
Oh, okay.
True.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Workarounds.
What we need to do is, well, I guess that's the problem. It has to be made.
Yeah, because what you want to do is make a fucking
new flintlock.
Make it look like a musket.
It's an AK-47 with a flintlock on it.
That's amazing, man. I know.
But maybe if you could just take old woods and metals and rework them to where they're technically
3D printer.
Well, no, I'm just thinking maybe if the materials are all of that era.
Officer. 1898. Multiverse. 2192. 600 BC. Time Space Continuum. Hawking. Whatever my friend's name was. What's it? Kaku. Kaku. That's just what I said. If I get arrested, Kaku. 1898, Kaku. I don't fucking know. You tell me. It's 40 chess I'm playing over here with these pigs.
I know. I know it. 4D chess.
I'm playing 4D chess with Kaku over here, pig. Get over here. Like, oh my God, they're hitting him.
They're really hitting him.
Really hitting Seth. Well, what'd he say? We yelled in the cop's face, "Hey, pig, I'm playing 4D chess with Kaku."
I mean, it literally is a script that it sort of sounds like what some of these dudes get pulled over and start talking. Like,
totally.
They're like, that's like where they're
Is he
at.
sovereign? I don't even think he's sovereign.
He's just on some shit.
future shit. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God
Then you
bless
just start
them.
throwing codes out at him.
I mean, we don't know. They could be.
We'll pull your papers. What?
What is it? What was she saying? What was that? Your lease or your...
Oh, I'm gonna look at your lease. I'm gonna look at your apartment lease. What the fuck are you talking? Do you have a license? Maybe. Do you have an apartment lease that I could go over? Let me ask you a question, pig.
Her loan? I'm going to pull your loan.
I'm gonna pull your loan.
Remember?
Was it a loan?
Was it?
No.
Was that what it was? Your paper loan? Like your... What the fuck was it?
Sovereign. Yeah, but you're getting arrested.
So it don't matter.
Yeah, but I'm gonna sue your ass. For what? See, all of this shit melts away at Black Rock. There's the world.
Is there a Black Rock?
It's not like the Morro Bay Rock.
It's not,
like
right?
They don't stand.
It's not like a mountain.
No, I don't think they don't.
There's no mountain.
Don't pray to this big mountain. No. But this is where it's at, as far as I'm concerned. Just don't want to get anybody in trouble over here, you know?
Where?
But I'm just giving the information that's from their website.
I gotta get in on that maybe.
On that antique game.
That musket game.
God, it's a beautiful musket. I know. I bring it into Starbucks to prove a point about America.
My ground.
About my ground in America.
It's a wiggly world.
It's wiggly, if you will. Now, listen. Every April, we're down in Palm Springs at the White Party. Always. Guaranteed know where to find us. Jeffrey Sanker, Jonathan and Seth, White Party. Now, it's been popping off. My boys tell me everybody's down in PV now. No one's down in PS. They're all down in PV.
What's PV?
It's a Mexican beach resort on the Pacific
Puerto
coast of
Vallarta.
Mexico. Puerto Vallarta.
I've been there.
Have you been there? You been to a white party?
Marlin fishing there.
Oh, but not to a Jeffrey Sanker white party.
No, I was on a
A Marlin expedition?
I was on a celebrity fishing show with my father.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck. All right, let's table that for a second.
ESPN.
You're on an ESPN celebrity fishing show in Puerto Vallarta with your father Marlin fishing.
Marlin fishing and then bass fishing in the freshwater mountains.
Maybe in Idaho or where?
No, in Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico.
In Puerto Vallarta.
On ESPN.
Yeah.
3 or 4, hopefully.
Age?
No, I just mean ESPN's. Like maybe one of the.
Oh, I don't even think they were out yet. It had to be
it's true.
2.
It had to have been
It was
like
just 2.
Real ESPN.
No, it was probably on 2.
2.
I would
ESPN
think.
2. Okay, I don't want to get too cocky. And did you catch any marlin?
I technically did, yeah.
Technically, did like the producer put a marlin on your?
No. I fought a marlin for about two hours.
2 hours you fought him?
2.5 hours.
To the cheers of the crew?
No. Yeah. I mean, I tried to rein a marlin in and
for hours
until my arms were hurting so bad that I had to get one of the guys on the crew, the fishing crew, to fight it for maybe another 20 minutes and get it into the back of the boat. 350-pound marlin.
400 easy.
It's a real thing. It was on TV. The story about this, I've told this story.
Jeff,
though.
can you find this? Jeff found a film that Jonathan's dad was in. What's it called?
One Special Victory.
One Special Victory.
It's not just him that's in it. I'm in it too.
And what do you do in this film?
I play his nephew.
You play your you play your father's nephew.
Yeah.
That must have been confusing for the two of you. Because you're his son. Wait a minute. But here you are playing his nephew. Yeah. Was that weird? How many did you fuck up? Like instead of Uncle Dad.
Uncle Dad.
Uncle Father. Fuck. All right.
Cut.
Jonathan. Just take a deep breath, little guy. Take a deep breath.
Uncle Daddy.
I got this. Zaddy Daddy Unk Monk. Fuck. Jonathan.
Hold on, though. My dad was played, by...
Your dad was played by somebody?
No, my dad.
Okay. You're okay.
My father...
Who played your father?
Was...
Joe Pantoliano?
No, Joey Pants plays one of the special needs. Wait for it.
What's crazy is that, like
Dirk Blocker was in it.
Dirk Blocker, amazing.
Dennis Arndt.
Arndt.
Yeah,
I know that.
That's who played my dad.
I know that fool. What's crazy about this, like my bogus different strokes fucking engram fucking memory that doesn't exist. Jeff had a similar one of watching this movie when he was a kid.
Oh, sorry. It's also, if you look at the credits on IMDb, I'm listed in the credits as J. Preston LaRoquette. And I think the choice at that point was to distance myself from my father for my acting career. J. Preston Lauro is my SAG name. J. Preston.
First of all, quick, what do you do in the film other than fucking crush it?
Other than crush it, I have a couple of scenes. One is my uncle, aka my dad,
my biological father,
my uncle, my dad. has given me cheeseburger. These like electronic drumsticks that connect to like a speaker that you attach to your hip, and I run into the room and I'm like, look at what I got. Look what Uncle Bo got. Okay. Look what Uncle Bo got me. And I like play the air drums. I'm like, do, and they're like having like a moment, and they're like, hey, could you go out?
Hey,
and I'm like,
Keith Moon, can you chill for 1 second? We're having a serious moment.
And then there's some other emotional scenes
where you crush it. It's amazing that after so many years, I asked you to put back into this scene, and you not only remember your lines.
Well, my line in the other one, in the other scene, my father has in a pinch.
Which one?
Not Dennis Arndt. John Larroquette.
Your biological father.
In One Special Victory. He's left the house. So
the movie is about.
It's about the guy that coached the first Special Olympics basketball team.
Awesome.
Loosely based on a real person and a real story. So, but he winds up. They live in a home. He stays one night in the home to keep an eye on them while the woman who normally oversees it goes and does something.
Okay.
Something transpires that forces my dad to make a decision to leave.
He has to leave, and there's no supervision.
Without supervision. Okay. And something happens while he's gone where they get endangered, and it's like
what the fuck?
Like could have like killed themselves.
Yeah, what are you doing?
And so the scene, besides the electronic drum scene, there's another scene where it's...
Do you remember, like, did you have a song in your mind when you were just like...
I mean, I had because I considered myself a musician, of course, at that point.
So
but the thing was so janky that, like, I couldn't get it to do anything.
You're actually, to the director, my Gene Krupa, let me come in. Let me come in like this. Can I do it like this? So this other scene, it's me, and I'm like sulking, and Dennis Arndt and my father are sitting on the couch. We're all in a living room, a dimly lit living room. Somber. And I look at Dennis Arndt. What's your line?
And I said, "Why'd you leave him, Uncle Bo?"
Wow. Wow. Tears in your eyes, tears in the audience, tears in Jeff's eyes. Now, Jeff's a kid at this point, watching a young actor watching this film with his mom, watching a young actor that he only knows as J. Preston Laro, absolutely destroying it. So Jeff has a distinct memory.
Yes.
When he watched this movie, that there's a scene where Jonathan's
So he gets
dad,
busted. He gets busted for disorderly, like drunken conduct, because he's trashing a house of his ex-wife, like in the middle of the night, and so he has to go to court. And so the court assigns him community service.
Okay.
And Jeff's memory is of that scene. The judge looks at my father and says, you know, this many hours of community service, da da da, looking to where to assign him to the community service. She looks at him and says, do you know anything about basketball? And my father says, a few things, basketball, a few things Michael Jordan wouldn't mind knowing, and like scoffs at her or whatever.
Didn't he say?
No, he says Michael Jordan.
Okay.
But in Jeff distinctly remembers seeing it on its original airing and seeing that he had overdubbed, that Michael Jordan was overdubbed.
Yes. Yes. He says Michael Jordan, but when Jeff watches this as a kid and hears the voice and watches your father, your biological father, not your stage
Dennis Arndt.
father. When he watches his mouth move,
He knows that that it's been dubbed, and then he doesn't say Michael Jordan. So he turns to his mother and says, "Mom, J. Preston Larroquette is so good in this movie, but also I don't think he said Michael Jordan. He must have said Magic Johnson, and because Magic Johnson had just come out saying that
this film came out in December of '91.
Within a month of airing,
Magic Johnson had his press conference for basketball announcing his HIV positive status in November of '91.
Yes.
So Jeff
said they must have overdubbed it and said Michael Jordan instead of Magic Johnson. To which Jeff's mother got very angry.
Screamed at him. I hate to throw your mom under the bus.
But I believe she
shut your stupid mouth.
They would not do that.
You will never be as good an actor as this young man who's the same age as you. And you're wrong. They didn't do that. But for his whole life,
he knew in his heart
of hearts.
And he just uncovered this week.
28 years later, 2001. Is that 28 years later, he tracked down the scene and saw it and said, holy shit, I was right the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Called his mother, yelled at her. It was
Now, what I've got to ask is, because my father has an insane fucking memory, I should ask him, do you remember going back in and dubbing that?
Which we don't think he did, because who do we
think it was? Yeah, we think it was Dave
Coulier's voice.
Doing his best John Larroquette impression.
His best Uncle Bo.
Uncle Bo impression.
So, which gave me hope for my different strokes that 28 years later I think I might just be mental. Whereas Jeff is sharp as a fucking tack, knew all along, in that sweet 3-decade vindication. I can't think of anything more exciting than that. Other than the fact that we still have to find your scene, because I need to see this drum solo that I think in the outtakes on the DVD they have your full drum solo that they had to
I'm
cut.
actually out on the pier,
You're just
with a little,
like with buckets, like you were one of the original bucket players.
Dennis Arndt worked in 2018. He was in Mr. Mercedes.
There it is.
Still doing some TV acting.
Still working.
Born in 1939.
You should look him up.
Say
what's up.
Should go visit him. I should invite him to Burning Man.
So now you're going to make a triumphant return to Puerto Vallarta.
Well, there's a whole nother story about Puerto Vallarta.
Meaning
I had an episode there.
What type of an episode? Sexual?
No. The antithesis of sexual.
The antithesis of sexual.
I got sick there.
You got violently ill?
I did.
Montezuma's Revenge, is that a thing that they say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've talked about that.
Yeah, I think that rings a bell.
Because it hit when it first overtook my body.
In your mind?
I was on a school bus that they had chartered to drive us up to the lake.
Celebrities.
the whole film crew and everybody up to this lake in the mountains above Puerto Vallarta.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And we're on this like muddy, crazy road. And as it's like, as we're kind of
Mountainside,
going
just
and going, I start
hot
just feeling, I start feeling searing pains in my stomach. And I was about 13, and I was, there was a makeup girl and maybe an assistant, or like a hair and a makeup girl, who were like, in my eyes, like maybe in their early 20s, and were like so cute. And I was like talking to them and like flirting with them, and like thought that I was actually maybe getting
Of
somewhere.
course you were. They didn't realize you were about to catch a 400-pound marlin.
And we were all on this bus, and yeah. So basically, I turned to my father at one point, and I'm like, I don't feel very good, and it just starts to get unbearable.
The pain.
The excruciating,
The body heating up from the inside, sweating.
And I was like, I have to go to the bathroom, and he was like, okay, but can we wait until? And I was like, it got to a point where I was like, I can't. You gotta. Right. So he's like, grabs the producer guy, and he's like, we got to pull over. He's got to jump out here, and he's not feeling well. He's gonna be sick. So bus kind of pulls over, and they open the door. I run out, and I run behind the bus, and I barely get past the bus before I start to just evacuate myself. And I find this like middle of the afternoon, and I find this bush, and I kind of tuck myself behind it, and I have like sweatpants on, and I remember pulling my pants and sweatpants down and just explosive fucking diarrhea, like just like
screaming,
shooting out of
screaming while this is happening.
I was like making crazy noise. Like it was that kind, and it was like this yellow like mustard, like hot mustard.
It is what it was. And as it shall
and I'm
be.
like dying, and it's shooting.
That's
and
my
I mean
boy.
like shooting, splashing
That's
out
my
of me.
boy.
And I look up, and the two
Film
cute
crew.
girls
are
looking through the
holding
back
hands,
window of the
looking,
school bus, and they both have this like sad, like,
God.
oh no.
I've been thinking about fucking you, but not now. Gross.
Flying out of my body.
So you were, as this was happening, you were screaming and making dead eye contact with two beautiful young women.
Couldn't
screaming. Ah! Well, they just.
But I couldn't move.
So yeah.
So it was everyone from the crew basically watching me just die.
Watching them.
And like when
award-winning master fisherman.
When I got back on that bus, it was like everyone was like, Are you okay? What are you looking at? Quit looking at my dick, man.
No, I thought you're telling that story. I saw that on the.
You didn't know what had happened.
Yeah, I think you're so into the story. I didn't know what was.
I was like, so that was the beginning of it. Then we had to shoot the rest of the day on these boats in fresh water, like in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they were like just trying to give me cokes and stuff, and I was sick as fuck. And so they would have to go to shore, and I would have to shit and then get back on the boat. They get me back to the hotel, and it starts coming out my mouth and my ass.
Okay.
So I spend an entire night in this beautiful bathroom in my father's like suite that they've given him in this Mexican resort, and I literally am like, the bathtub and the toilet, I'm like straddling between them, and like every time it comes out one end, it causes pressure that comes out the other, and it's just for like 24 hours. And I couldn't look these girls in the eye. I was so humiliated. Like I went from being like feeling like I was ahead of the game. I was 13, like
He was
kind
the
of
star
like
of
flirting with young.
ESPN's fishing show.
They were like, "This kid's cute.
He's
like,
a great
I might
fisherman.
fuck this kid."
Depending on the size of the marlin, if it's over 300 pounds, I'll fuck this fool.
To where they wouldn't like look at me in the eyes anymore.
And they tell that story to this day, the way you're telling it now, they're probably also telling it to people. Anytime anybody gets sick, well, let me tell you about this one time.
This one time
you know
we watched
Night
this-
Court? You know the guy on Night Court?
His son, you know Dennis Orange.
So that's that. So does this make you want to go back to Puerto Vallarta, or can I never?
I don't know if I've been back to Mexico
So I
since. I
can't
might have
get
written
you-
off Mexico
So
afterwards.
the VIP tickets I got us to bring in the new decade at the
No
White
way.
Party New Year's.
Mind you,
All right.
I got it from like eating like a Caesar salad at the fucking hotel or something like that because I
Yeah.
didn't drink any of the water. The whole, the sickest feeling I can remember.
All right. So that's I'll return those tickets.
Sweating just thinking about it.
Yeah, that was intense.
I think the Marlin thing happened before.
Yeah, you were like,
On top of the world.
dog. He caught it's a 500-pound marlin.
600-pound Marlin.
And just the other girl was like, how many pounds? 700 pounds. Yep.
Oh,
That's my boy.
so embarrassing.
That's my boy. That's my baby boy. I love you.
I'll never forget those sad faces looking at me.
Yep. Those two beautiful women looking at you. Dead eye contact.
Because it was both of their faces. Like the back of a short
Yep.
bus. There's
One and
two.
one.
Exactly.
Just enough
like
for
perfect
all eyes.
portals.
Perfect.
Just-
Look at those beautiful faces. You reaching out with one hand, other hand in the bushes, screaming, dead eye contact, going back and forth from face to face.
And I don't think I made it it wasn't a totally clean evacuation. I mean, there was definitely
You were covered.
Drippings.
You were a
Driblets.
monster. They left you there.
shit monster. It shouldn't have been allowed back on the bus.
No.
Can we go?
Fuck.
If Dennis Arndt dies this week, I'm gonna be so bummed.
You've got to see Dennis. How old is he? He was born in 39.
39.
You've got to get a hold of him. He's got to live in L.A.
He was from Issaquah. The American Water Summit, November 12th, 13th, and 14th at the Omni Hotel in Houston, bringing together C-suite execs.
What?
I didn't know what this was. C-suite refers to the executive level managers within a company. Common C-suite executives include Chief Executive Officer, a.k.a. the CEO.
Oh, okay.
Chief Financial Officer, a.k.a. CFO. Chief Operating Officer, COO. And Chief Information Officer, CIO.
These are what are they called?
C-suite execs.
Oh, yeah, C-suite exec.
From across the North American water industry to talk frankly about money and water.
Let's talk frankly at the Omni here in H-Town. Let's talk frankly about it. I don't know about that. That sounds like
Sounds like people that
have the water.
People that own the
And the
water
money.
and then decide
Talking frankly about how they ain't gonna give it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just be honest and frank.
let's not give it to them.
They don't need it.
They probably need it, but if they need it so bad that we don't have to give it to them until they give us
They desperately
all the
need
money.
it. They'll give us their children for it. Let's wait for that. Drinks? And then they have a
C-suite.
Scotch. It's like they have a C-suite song.
Yeah, they have- C-suite rap.
And then they have the
They
C-suite
go
rap.
they go around in a
Yeah,
cipher.
Paul Wall comes out. What it do? Does the C-suite rap? They gave him $2 million to show up. Wood dripping! Just yelling. And then they spend the rest of the weekend partying and going to strip clubs, and then they go back to their lives.
Yeah.
Sweet fucking. These are the fucking conferences that we have to infiltrate. Just like the one we talked about a few weeks ago, which was that fucking infrastructure one.
Oh, yeah.
These are where we have to have our operatives in so we can fucking. We need to know what these fucking people are up to.
Cut them off at the pass.
Yeah, or at least just know,
This is where it's gonna go.
They're really doing it, huh? Yeah, they talked really frankly about
Money.
money and water, and they wasted so much water. You would not even
They
believe.
just leave them on.
They had
all leave
faucets on. They just sit in
leave-
bathrooms. All their meetings are in bathrooms with the faucets on. It's awfully frank. I'm telling you, we gotta stop them at the pass, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
America and the PV, through the eyes of two Americans.
We
We are super thankful that you joined us for this episode 753. It would be great if you came back and brought somebody with you to 754.
that would be great.
Hey, on this fucking pataphysical vision quest, all of us together.
PATA, PADA.
PATA, pataphysical. It's when the metaphysical.
I get it.
It's
You
just-
shrug at the metaphysical.
When
I
people
get
are
it.
talking about metaphysics and you laugh at them.
You shrug at them.
You shrug at them because you're in the pataphysical. But what happens after the pataphysical?
Has to be the macrophysical, or no? Maybe that's the same thing. I don't know. Maybe that's a lateral jump.
What did you? Oh, I'm doing the torta physical. Ooh.
Torta physical.
The torta physical. Is that physics? No. Oh, then it's metaphysics. Oh, no.
Sorry. No.
It must be pataphysics. No, it's a torta physics. Oh, my head. Your head should hurt, right?
There's a lot to wrap it
There are
around.
infinite fucking possibilities. At the very least,
Possibilities. Possibly realities.
fuck that. There are infinite possibilities.
Yes. So you believe that it's one reality and then cresting possibilities getting crushed by the wave of reality?
Me? I'm just saying anything is possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, come back for 754.
Tell a friend.
888-842-2357.
Call the voicemail.
That's the toll-free voicemail. You can call and you can explain how it all... explain what this is. Make
Tell
some
me if
sense
you-
of it.
yeah.
Tell me what it is.
Tell me if you're one of my two people I'm supposed to go to Burning Man with.
Are you one of the two people that are destined for all of this time-space continuum to go to the 2020 Burning Man with him? Call if you're one of those two beautiful women that wanted to hold him nude until they saw what happened when he got nude and what he looked like, covered.
Oh, God. Can you imagine if they came back into my life so I could apologize?
Apologize to them.
I wonder if it aired.
Jeff, you got a lot of work
Because if
to
it
do.
aired, Jeff, you're slacking, dude.
You got a lot of work to do.
No, I've done a quick look for it.
I mean,
I
we
gotta
gotta
ask
go
my
to
old
Bristol.
man-
Which go
I
to
gotta
Bristol
ask
and
my
go
old
right.
man what
they
it
have to
was
have
for.
that like in a fucking storage.
Oh, there's definitely a storage facility somewhere.
Yeah.
There's definitely a 3/4 inch beta of it or
we
something.
Pop that in and see you.
We are a
What you don't know is that the entire time you're in the bushes, they also filmed that.
well. I
full camera
believe there
crew.
will certainly be me being sick on the boat, not like post
Throwing up.
shitting myself.
Okay.
But sitting on the boat being queasy as fuck, which is also why I think it's possible that never made it to television because they were like, we can't use this. This
Yeah,
kid is like
that was the one
green.
that was in the bushes. That was Lara Kett's kid.
We
Jay Preston.
That's why we got canceled because of that. We lost that one
She
episode.
lost that sponsor. Bassmasters, they canceled the sponsorship when they saw the B-roll of him covered in his own fucking shit.
Mustard shits everywhere.
Fuck.
So, but we are also a listener-supported, commercial advertising-free podcast.
Listener-supported, community-bound,
Community-driven.
conversation that we're having.
The two ways that you can help keep that happening and support
Because
it.
this is a two-way street of sharing and communicating ideas.
You could go to our Venmo page or our Venmo account, which is UID number 4 letter L. That's UID for life. UID4L at Venmo, or if you'd like to sign up and pledge to the show with a recurring monthly pledge of say $1 or $3 or $5 or $10 or anything like that,
More than that.
Patreon or more than that, hundreds of dollars. Patreon.com/UhhYeahDude. You get access to the archived episodes that aren't on iTunes. You get access to these shows here that we film in the apartment in high definition HDMI.
Ang Lee came in. He's doing a
We're doing
frame rate,
120
high
frames
frame
per
rate.
second of this show right
You're
now.
gonna puke when you see it.
You're gonna
but-
vomit, even though we don't move. It looks like we're moving the whole time.
You see Gemini Man and the same CGI that they use in The Irishman, where they de-age De Niro.
Yeah, it's like us in 2006. We look exactly like we did when we started
It's
the show.
amazing. It's actually us in '96. That would be heaven.
That would be cool.
If you could live your life physically as you looked in 1996.
With this old man's wit.
Oh! With his knowledge of the Tortiverse, but in the body of a
Stealth 19.
1996 Jonathan?
Yeah.
You would have been how old? 77, 87, 97?
19.
19 years old. What were you thinking when you were 19? What did you think the world was? What did you think you were?
What does that mean?
When you were 19 years old and you presented yourself to the world as you, what was your mindset?
I don't know how to answer that really. I mean, I was definitely.
When you answer that, you'll know who's going to fucking Black Rock with you. And you'll know what you're going as. And that is your work this week, sir. We are so lucky that we get to do this show.
We are.
And we really only get to do the show because you listen to the show. So please keep listening. Sorry that we tell you every fucking week to tell a friend and everything. But it's when we started the show that was so long ago, and it was such a crazy thing, like podcasting or just doing it was so insanely weird that we said, hey, tell a friend, because it was the only way to. You'd have to tell somebody.
I mean, obviously that's changed for some people. That, for better or for worse, also still the only way that anyone finds out about this
how come
one.
14 years later, we still haven't figured out a better way.
But I guess,
like
in part because it's worked for us.
A publicist called and said, hey, you know what? There's jobs for that.
As opposed to just like making everyone do it.
People, so you make them give you money and tell people. So what do you do? Well, I fish.
I guess maybe tell a friend though, and come back.
We got to get all of your work, acting work, all of my acting work, and just make a master reel. A master reel of incredible work.
Available for public domain.
Yeah, like the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Like here you are.
Yeah.
Before they were stars. Before they were podcast stars.
Yes.
We thank you so much for listening. We are excited that we started this podcast in such a distant time and land, and that we're coming into November, these holiday seasons in 2019, and that we're still doing it, loving doing it more than ever. And from some very kind words on the voicemail, people responding to it as positively as I can ever remember.
People who have been,
and so that's very kind.
Been with us for a long time,
that's
and
very
I think,
kind.
I mean, that's
very kind.
It's super nice to hear. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I would love to think that
great
it
to
is.
Hear, though.
But
great
it's great to hear, no matter what.
To hear.
But come back and keep us coming back, and
let us be able to keep doing this,
and
at least until Black Rock.
Until Black Rock.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelts.